Not quite so green anymore, huh? I have to see some of my earlier videos to really know how not green it is. So, howdy. Been a little while since I've been talking. So get used to what we've been seeing over the last couple weeks economy-wise. We're in a place now where things need to happen, something needs to change, something needs to enhance our growth, or push, or surge, or, stimulate, which is like an evil word, the power of Fox. I'll tell you what, our economy, or it's just going to continue to languish. This is why the S&P downgraded the U.S., because as it languishes, what's happened, see, if we go back into a recession, this is, by the way, how numbers work. We have a fixed debt, right? Cutting spending, by the way, doesn't touch our debt. You have to run a surplus to pay down debt. Yes, you have to run a surplus to pay down debt. You understand that, right, everybody? So, we're not going to be paying down any debt for a while. So, what we need to be doing then, in that case, is growing, right? Because what we need to do is change our debt to GDP ratio. Right, the actual number, and this is what sucks about nowadays, because it's like a huge number, which is actually the same, right about now, it's pretty close to the same number as the amount of money we make every year as a country. Our debt to GDP ratio, that's what we need to bring down. That's our fiscal situation, as it were, as a country. Probably needed about 40 to 50, 30 to 50, maybe 30 to 60. It's getting close to 100. But this is the thing about how that works. Our debt is a fixed number. Our GDP is a number. When we go into a recession, that means our GDP is going down. When your GDP goes down, so this is, remember, a ratio, right? You've got growth, the denominator, and you've got the debt up here as the numerator. I did a whole post on this, so I'll link to it. So, when the debt stays the same size, and it's on top, debt stays the same size, and GDP gets smaller, right? So if you have 4 over 2, right, that's equal to 2, but if you have 4 over 1, that's equal to 4. So, our GDP ratio gets worse if we go into a recession without doing any more spending or anything else. Does everybody understand that? Okay. So, nothing's going to happen in Washington for the next year. We're pretty much almost into campaign mode, and there's no way the Republicans are going to pass anything. They can't pass anything to push without cutting spending because we got this stupid-ass debt super committee. By the way, every Republican on there has signed a pledge not to raise taxes that I think is more important to them than their pledge that they made when they were elected. But so they're not going to raise taxes. They're just going to cut that spending, which cuts that growth. Remember, you can't cut the spending enough to get the surplus. This is so ridiculous. This is like, yeah. Well, we'll be able to pay off that mortgage. We'll just, get a lower paying job. I don't know. The whole debt family thing is silly at this point. So that's why we got downgraded, because after you do that for a couple years, right, all of a sudden this number that was at like 90 and then 95 starts going up quick, right? Because when that denominator goes down, and we're still adding more debt because we are still running a deficit. Remember, we have to make a surplus to make the deficit the debt go down. So this number on top's getting bigger. This number on bottom's getting smaller. That's bad. Double bad. So what happens then is that's how you spiral out of control. So the chance of spiraling out of control is larger now. And what's going to happen is the Republicans are going to block anything that could help. Because they want to go into 2012, into the election, and say, look how crappy things are. And they just want to say that over and over and over and over again. Now, because Obama and others have taken so many, bold moves to deal with this global financial crisis, the result's on their hands, regardless of what happens now. But now we're going to spend a year and a half, right? Because we've already wasted 6 months. We're going to waste the next year and another. So a year and a half wasted of trying to deal with this. So this happened, I think it's in 37, or 33, when Republicans were like, blah, 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 government socialist, blah. And so they cut all the spending during the recovery from the depression, and we fell back into a double dip. So that's what I was worried about. I think we're going to flatline more than anything, really. And you'll see like sub 1% growth probably, which we probably won't go full on recession, but it's going to feel like it. So that's that. I wanted to do my governor. This is Texas, by the way. I don't know. That's why the stuff is so brown. It used to be green a couple months ago, and then it was 100 degrees for what it's been like 49 the last 50 days, something like that. We got this one break like right before the record because it was just fucking with us. And it's Texas. That's how shit works here. But anyway, our governor is running for president. We got this other congressman who's down from the coast, and he's kind of crazy, but he's like, well, look at the governor. He's out there. So we've got both Ron Paul and Rick Perry representing Texas. I can't facepalm enough. It's really just, I would beat myself silly. Really, God. So that's just, it's going to be entertaining, but that's what's going to happen for the next 12 months is campaigning and all sorts of crazy things that people are saying about stuff. So, yeah, the Republican nominee is going to be Mitt Romney, by the way. So you can decide if you want to vote for him now or not. Basically, they're going to run on the economy. He's going to be, I'm a big capital guy. Corporations are people, just like that corporation that was born, donated $1 million to my campaign, and then disappeared, all within the space of a month and a half. Just like people do. That's not a very good Mitt Romney, I know, but, yeah, he said that at the Iowa thing, like, as this story is coming out about this really corporation that really just existed for a month to donate $1 million to him and then disappeared. Oh. Whew. It did come out, though. It was his former boss at Bain Capital, who had set it up. I got some sweat in my eye. So his former boss gave him $1 million, and I guess it was probably maybe a bet they made one night. I'll give you $1 million for your campaign if you actually have a chance. He's like, all right, deal. And so he got the $1 million, and then that corporation disappeared, just like people do. Same kind of thing, same thing. So we got the corporate candidate in Romney, and then we got Obama. He had a great slam the other day. I'm going to start using it. It's pretty funny. Obama cares. Just add an S. It's like, all right, fine, we'll play with this. It's pretty good. I think he's going to wreck Mike because he's really good at this stuff. People have forgotten that. And over the last 4 years, pretty much every time he's gotten, or 3 years, every time he's gotten put down a little bit, he comes out and does his thing. And we've got a lot of stuff that's happened that I think is actually pretty positive outside the economic stuff, because what can you do when you've got people going, no, I don't want to pay the debt limit, give me some tea. What are these people? I just, your crazy aunt and uncle that forward you these nut job things. Obama spent $200 billion a day. That's the Tea Party. And they're, you see now what they do, and throw a fit, get this horrible deal, call it awesome, and like, what? Us? We didn't, and then turn around and think, yeah, totally, we did it, we're taking them down, and it's like, you realize you're taking everybody down with you, and a lot of us aren't going to die in the next 15 years. Man. Anyway. Kind of a long rant. It's been a pretty wild couple weeks on the political side. Doing a lot of writing, not so much the camera work. This is a long one, so thanks for watching. Hope you have a great weekend. I actually am taking the next weekend off because I got engaged and I'm going to go do stuff. So, peace out, and talk to you later.